Hey folks, it's Tom from FrugalPrepper. So I'm going to do a video today, just kind of a brief one I think, to talk about what I eat on my version of the carnivore diet. I call it carnivore. It's not 100% carnivore. It includes things that don't come from animals, but it is mostly meat and mostly carnivore. Used to be keto, started keto, and no keto, fell off the keto wagon several times, and I got back on. But now I'm mostly carnivore, and that has really worked for me. And I'm getting thin now. I am getting bigger on top than I am at the bottom. So I am looking good. This is all muscle up here, and belly is quickly going away. For people who are new to my channel, or maybe this is the first video you've seen, I'm just going to go into a brief history of my medical and keto carnivore journey. 5 years ago, I used to weigh 458 pounds. I was on 300 plus units of insulin a day plus metformin. I had a knee that was bone on bone. I had the CAT scans and MRIs done, and it needed a replacement. They wouldn't do the replacement, however, because I had diabetic leg ulcers that wouldn't heal. I had diabetic retinopathy, which I still do, but it's not getting any worse. I had macular edema and macular degeneration. I had to get expensive $2,000 eye shots every month in every other eye. And I had to burn my retina with a laser to stop the bleeding. I had a torn rotator cuff from rolling a mower down a hill over and over again. And it also needed surgery. I had the early stages of gout and arthritis in my feet. I had extremely high blood pressures, 250s to 280s systolic, and I was on 5 blood pressure medications. I had all kinds of doctors and surgeons and ologists, but I felt like crap and everything always hurt. So I started this keto diet 5 years ago. Now I'm primarily a carnivore. Today I've lost 198 pounds and I feel better than I did when I was 20. Nothing hurts. My knees healed, my shoulders healed, everything has healed. I have no leg ulcers. I'm on no medications. And I have no doctor because he dropped me for being a non-compliant patient. I am not a doctor. I'm a network engineer and a mechanic. This video is based on my experience and it's really just for entertainment only. If you have medical problems that you're concerned about, you need to go see a doctor. Alright, so I'm going to go over some of the things that I eat. This is pretty much all I eat that I can recall eating, so it's what I eat. I used to be a lot more keto and have a lot more veggies and stuff, and today, mostly meat, but I do have some things that aren't meat, and I'm fine. Beef, I mostly eat beef. Chuck roast is my favorite. Sliced a 1/2 inch thin, and then put it in a pan with bacon grease, or put it on the grill, which is where the camera is sitting at now. And grill it out. I like it medium to medium rare, and I will eat it. Sometimes I like it really rare. Sometimes I even eat it raw. It's mostly grain finished because I don't have the money to buy the grass finished. I am saving up some money and planning on buying me a cow that's grass fed and grass finished and lives in a nice big healthy field with tall grass. But I don't have that much money yet, but I'm going to. Bacon, I don't eat as much bacon as I used to, but I still have bacon. I still love bacon. Eggs, I only do the pasture raised eggs or the backyard chicken eggs. If I can find somebody with backyard chickens that's raising their own chickens healthy, I'll buy those. Chicken, I only have that once in a great while, and it's usually wings or legs fried in bacon grease, but it makes a nice little change once in a while to have chicken. Beef liver, I only have it every once in a while because I was in the hospital in intensive care for like 10 days with severe pancreatitis due to gallstones. and it has a tendency to come back. And liver, eating a bunch of liver is one of those things that will make it flare up. And as long as you catch it early, I can usually just fast and it goes away. But if I don't catch it early, I'm going to be in the hospital for 3 days high on morphine. Seafood, salmon. I absolutely hate salmon. It's the nastiest thing I've ever put in my mouth, and I don't understand how anybody can like it and eat it. But I do like other fish. Cod is my favorite fish. I like tuna, shrimp, oysters, clams, and I do eat that probably once every week or every 2 weeks. Butter. I eat quite a bit of butter. Butter's really good. I like butter. And anytime I'm eating some beef and it's a little lean, I'll have a half a stick of butter with it. Oils that I use. Of course, butter. But mostly I cook with bacon grease, because I have bacon grease from cooking the bacon, and I just pour it in a jar and I save it. But I also use some lard, tallow, which is just left over from my hamburger patties or whatever I'm cooking. That grease that's left in the pan, I'll pour that in a jar. Rendered duck fat, I really like that. I buy that in a jar off of Amazon. It's kind of expensive. Ghee is expensive if you buy it. It's really, really easy to make. I believe it's Rose Red Homestead has a great video on making ghee. I'll put a link to it down below. It's really easy to make. It's not that expensive to make, and so I make my own. Avocado. I will have avocado oil very occasionally. It's still pretty high in omega-6s compared to other oils, so you know, you have to watch that, but it's a whole lot better than soybean oil. Once in a while, things that I'll have, and probably the biggest once in a while thing is in like every 2 or 3 days, it's going to be dill pickles. I grow my own cucumbers. I can my own dill pickles with my own recipe in my own kitchen, and I love them. So I eat them. I don't seem to have any negative effects from those. Onions, I will have onions once in a while, but very few. I really try to restrict it. They have some carbohydrates in them, but I do love onions. I have them dehydrated, onion powder. I have them just all kinds of ways. I like them cooked, raw. However, I could just sit down and eat a whole onion. I love onions. But I don't. I just have a little bit. Olives, I will have those every once in a while as a treat. I have to be careful. Too many of them will make me kind of upset to my gastrointestinal tract the next day. Peppers, once in a great while I have some peppers, but they will cause my muscles to get sore and me to feel a little inflamed if I have too many of them. So I really restrict those, and it's a very once in a while thing. Cheese is a once in a while thing, and I have very limited amounts of it. And it's mostly like cheddar, mozzarella, Parmesan. Occasionally I'll have a bite or two of my wife's cottage cheese. Occasionally I'll have a spoonful of cream cheese, but it's a very occasional thing. Keto mayonnaise. I really have cut back on the mayonnaise, but I make my own mayonnaise with my own avocado oil. I put a video to how I make that up there. It's very good. It tastes great, but I am going to try making some mayonnaise with some ghee and see how that turns out. So pistachios and walnuts, very rarely I will get those, but I usually have those if I'm getting kind of hungry and I'm out driving and I got 2 hours to get home. I will stop at a gas station and get a bag or two of pistachios or walnuts, just the small single serving bags, and eat those and snack on them while I drive. I don't seem to have any adverse reaction from them, but pecans will make me feel like crap the next day. Seasonings, I don't often season, except like when I get into my keto cheat meals, which we're going to go into here in a minute. But the seasonings that I do have are, of course, Redmond's real salt. That goes on everything. I like cumin, chili powder, garlic, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and black pepper. I don't use those other things that often, but once in a while. Treats that I like to have. These are my treats that I might eat while I'm on carnivore. Raspberries. When they come on my bushes, I can't avoid coming out and picking a handful of raspberries and eating those. They're really good. And they taste really good now that I'm not on sugar anymore. They taste so good. Spaghetti squash. I really like spaghetti squash. I grow them in my own garden. And they're delicious. And I will have spaghetti squash sometimes with just butter and salt. And a cup of spaghetti squash is like 6 grams of carbs. So I will have some spaghetti squash once in a while. These are just very rare occasional treats. And heavy whipping cream, I will occasionally put a little bit of heavy whipping cream in my coffee, but not that often. I'm talking like once a month. I'm going to have some heavy whipping cream in my coffee. Keto meal cheats. All right, these are my cheat meals, and these probably average about once a month or so. I will make a keto cheat meal. I put a video up of my Alfredo and meatballs cheat meal. I'll put a link to that up there. But spaghetti squash with Alfredo and meatballs is my favorite one. I love that. It's so good. I also make a spaghetti squash shrimp pescatore, which does have some lemon in it. But sometimes you just gotta have some lemon, you know. A pork rind taco nacho is really good. I just make some hamburger with some cumin. Get out of here, bee. Yeah. Bugs are going crazy today. I'll make some hamburger with some cumin and chili powder and some salt, and it kind of makes like a taco-y meat. I'll put that over some pork rinds. I'll put some cheese on it. I'll put some onions on it. I will put some sour cream on it, and I will eat those, and that's really good. And raspberries and Carb Master yogurt is another keto cheat that I will have as a dessert when I'm having this stuff, right? Sometimes it's just the Carb Master yogurt, but usually it's when I have the raspberries, I'll put them in Carb Master yogurt, and sometimes you can freeze that, and it's almost like an ice cream. And things that I need to stop doing is diet soda. I still have diet soda occasionally. I need to stop that, but it's really good and I really like it. Coffee, I don't drink nearly as much coffee as I used to. I don't drink it every day. It's like a 3 time a week thing. I have some coffee. I used to just drink a pot of coffee before I could even get up and get dressed in the mornings. And I need to quit smoking, right? So I'm down to about a half a pack of cigarettes a day from nearly 3 packs a day before. And I have quit before, and I'm going to quit again. And I'm doing more of the nicotine lozenges. And then I'm going to get off all onto the nicotine lozenges and then get off the cigarettes. And vaping doesn't work for me. Vaping makes my lungs feel like they are on fire. I don't like that. So I just can't vape. I don't know how people do it. But that's all I got, folks. I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.